Look, I had a whole fucking set of paragraphs explaining why Sasuke vs. Hiei is wrong. Like, Yu's not planet level. A lot of people were saying, duh, it is planet level, do your research. But then I found pages and pages of people debunking planet level Yu Yu Hakusho, and I'm pretty sure that feat they showed was anime only, or I've been told at least. And it's also ridiculous to think that there is air to push out of the way 4 million meters into the sky. But it's also very inconsistent. I think the main thing is that there's a lot of evidence towards planet level Naruto. There's very little for planet level Yu Yu. And if you're going to go with statements, there's a lot more statements in Naruto as well. So there's a lot more consistent. And a good example of this is like how Death Battle did Carnage versus Lucy. Carnage has consistently had planet level durability, but they said that was too inconsistent, while Lucy's one island feat was considered perfectly fine. For instance, Carnage, he gets beaten up by characters like Hulk a lot, and can consistently damage Venom, who consistently does planet level stuff. And they even stated that Venom has resisted Ghost Rider's Pensteer and the Hulk's Thunderclap, and showed here that he beat Juggernaut, and showed evidence of him getting beaten up by Juggernaut and Hulk. And they obviously acknowledged, I believe, I didn't go back to double check this, but I'm fairly sure they would have stated that Carnage commonly beats the crap out of Venom. So if they want to tell me that Lucy can beat the Juggernaut, they can fuck off, because that's wrong. Plain and simple, like, Carnage should win. He's more consistently got planet level durability, while Lucy has far less consistency with the island level attack power. Like, the thing is, though, that no one cares, right? I could spend 30 minutes of this video talking about how Sasuke beats Hiei, but no one cares. And it's not because everyone already knows that Death Battle were wrong, because there are plenty of Yu Yu Hakusho fans that clearly do not realize that. But it's because, like, no one cares. I mean, I'm pretty sure Seth the programmer isn't even going to make a debunk of this, because, like, no one likes Sasuke. That's the thing. No one likes Sasuke. And Sasuke getting chopped up was very satisfying to me. I really liked it. If you watch my How It Should Have Been, you'd know that I find that to be the most satisfying thing that's happened all month for me, was seeing Sasuke get destroyed. Then again, there's still like a day left in this month. Well, by the time this uploads, it'll be the last day of the month for me, I believe. Let me just double check that. Okay, it's not right, because I forgot we're in September, which is a 30-day month. But unless something really amazing happens on the day of this recording, it was the most satisfying thing I've seen all month. But that's not important. What is important is the Ganondorf vs. Dracula part, the thing this is named after. So, let's talk about that. This battle seems kind of popular, so let's talk about it. And let's get the elephant out of the room first. Ganondorf can be killed by more than just holy weapons. It's just the only thing strong enough to kill him within Legend of Zelda are all holy. So not just that, Dracula can only be harmed by holy weapons and can only be killed by things like the Vampire Killer. So, if you're going to use no limits fallacies, Dracula has 2, Ganondorf has 1, Dracula wins. Now, obviously, to say something like the Infinity Gauntlet or the Odin Force couldn't kill either of them would be a gigantic no limits fallacy, given both of those are beyond universe level powers, but it's still a thing. Oh, by the way, Dracula is universe level. You see, Dracula is superior to the likes of the Time Reaper and Menace. The Time Reaper was capable of racing the entire Castlevania timeline, and Menace collapsed the entire abyss when he died. So, Dracula is universal. Does he stop Ganondorf? Well, funny thing, there's actually a way to argue for universe level Ganondorf. Ganondorf, with the full Triforce, is strong. Stronger than, say, Majora. And Majora sustained an entire universe and warped the universe of Termina on his own. The Triforce itself manages to sustain the entire Sacred Realm, which is its own universe. And Hyrule Warriors Ganondorf even wields the full Triforce at one point, I believe. So, they're both universe level, so who wins? I mean, we got quite a conundrum there, except that Dracula does. In fact, Dracula completely shitstorms, because to say universe level Ganondorf, you need to specifically say Ganondorf with the full Triforce. And usually he's only carrying around the Triforce of Power. Well, I mean, and Wisdom, but not in the way that would be useful. Ganondorf with only the Triforce of Power is not universal. And definitely not as strong as Dracula. Even if he was, let's say for the sake of argumentation, well, then it's a bit more interesting. You can actually talk abilities and all that, but let's keep in mind Dracula's right-hand man is Death himself. Yeah, that's how powerful Dracula is. Death is also likely at a universe level. And unlike Ganondorf, Dracula has proven that only holy weapons can harm him. Ganondorf can still be harmed by non-holy weapons in the Legend of Zelda series, he just can't be killed by anything that isn't holy throughout the several games. Dracula, however, is shown to be immune to non-holy weapons, even magical and alchemic ones, and can only be killed by specific weapons like the Vampire Killer and Alucard's sword. This doesn't mean Ganondorf can't win, it would just mean that Ganondorf would need a weapon with similar attributes to those weapons, a weapon that has a specific hacks that can kill Dracula, or just have a superior output to the likes of those weapons. But Ganondorf doesn't. Now, admittedly, no matter who wins, the other one will just get back up sometime later. Ganondorf will reincarnate and Dracula will just wake up again. And, yeah, so Dracula should win, because more often than not, Ganondorf will not have the Triforce in its full form. Thus, using Death Bell's own logic, the most common outcome would be Ganondorf not with the full Triforce versus Dracula, and Dracula will win that 100% of the time. So the only way Ganondorf has a chance is with the full Triforce, which is not the most common scenario. So Dracula should win. But ignoring that, who do I think Death Bell will have win? Now, as we all know, just because there is a clear-cut winner, doesn't mean that they will always have that person win. Because, as we know, I mean, they stay themselves. Ganondorf can only be killed by holy weapons, but Dracula is the same. So, clearly, the battle is ended, and it will be a draw with no winner. But you know what Wiz is going to say? He's still going to say, this battle was an extremely close matchup. That's an ending. That was supposed to be a joke. That's all I got. This was fairly short, and there's honestly not much to say, except, more often than not, Ganondorf doesn't have the Troll 5 Force. Yes, more often than not, Ganondorf does not have the Troll 5 Force, while Dracula is always at a universal level of power. So the more consistent outcome is Ganondorf walks up with just the Triforce of Power and gets his shit pushed in harder than a Diablos versus a Devil Joe. So you know how this is going to go.